Hi, everybody. I am pleased this week to bring you another one of the experts from my book, Tweak It. Their advice, I hope, gets you started and motivated to make what matters to you happen every day. And Aviva, why don't you tell us a little bit about the 6 o'clock scramble? Because I
Oh,
am a fan, as you know.
oh, thank you. I would be glad to. So I help busy moms go from feeling stressed out and cruddy about the haphazard, unhealthy dinners that they're serving their families
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to truly connecting with their families at the dinner table over nourishing homemade food. And I do this by giving them easy recipes, an organized grocery list, and a weekly family dinner plan that eliminates all that worry and overwhelm.
Yep. And as you know, I am a fan, as I just said. And this is a true story. I'll tell you how this has worked out in my family. Sunday, as you all know, in my standard tweaks, Sunday is my meal planning day. So if I have that all laid out, and Aviva, I don't know if you feel the same way. If I have all that laid out for the week, it just makes such a difference,
Absolutely. Then
right?
everything can run smoothly. And if I don't, God forbid.
Isn't it almost like everything just spins out of order? It's the
Yes,
weirdest. I know. I'm glad to hear you feel that way because if you just sort of have
absolutely. It
everything
makes or
sort of,
breaks the week.
yes, I know. So we signed up for the scramble, and then there was sort of a week where we didn't do it, and everybody was just, where's the food from that scramble? Where is that food? Because it was again just so delicious. People, and actually in
Oh,
my family, we two of us, my daughter and myself, we are gluten intolerant.
oh.
So I find, and that's, I should tell that to people, right? Because you are so careful about telling people what the different dietary
Mm-hmm.
limitations are and how you adapt it. So it is
Mm-hmm.
so
Oh,
easy,
I'm so
easy,
glad to
easy to
hear
do. I
that.
love the scramble.
Oh, thank you.
So can you tell us why and when somebody would want to make healthy meal planning part of their everyday work life fit? Obviously for me, it just puts some structure. But why should people make this the small steps to do this a
Mhm.
priority?
Well, I talk to moms all the time, and I love talking to groups and moms individually. And when I talk to them, one thing that I've realized, I've been doing this for more than 10 years, is sometimes what they're doing already works for them. It might not be the way that I do it, but it works for them. And so the first thing I ask when we're talking about what changes to make, I said, well, is what you're doing working for you? And usually they say no, but
No,
sometimes
it
they say
wasn't
yeah.
for
So
me.
if you like stopping at the grocery store every day, or if you like serving your family meals from the freezer that you purchased already made or whatever, or stopping at Chipotle or whatever it is every day, and it works for you, then fine. But if you are stressed out or you want your family or yourself to get healthier, lose weight, lower blood pressure, or if you're not feeling good about what you're serving to your family, then you know that this is something to make a priority. But the nice thing is that by making this a priority and doing it with the steps that I recommend in your book and on the scramble, you can save yourself a lot of time, like
Hmm.
half an hour a day, and a lot of money, at least $100 a month.
Yeah, and then we know that money is huge. I think sometimes we don't think about that, but if
Mhm.
you're not organized in how you're planning your meals, you really do spend more money.
You are wasting so much food, spending so much money, also going out more, ordering out more. But one thing that a problem that we have in this country that I'm sure you've heard something about is food waste.
Yes.
And, Americans at the grocery store, in our homes, in the restaurants, and everything else throw away probably half the food that is
Wow.
produced. And we can't
Wow.
sustain that as a country. We can't
No.
sustain that financially. We can't sustain that environmentally. So I find, and you probably find, that when I plan my meals ahead and shop once a week and make the meals for the week, my refrigerator is almost empty by the end of the week.
Right.
It feels so good because I'm not wasting food. And
So
video showing how.
where do you find people struggle the most with this? Because you'd think, for all the reasons you just said, it would be so blatantly obvious that we should prioritize healthy meal preparation in our busy work life fit. But
Well, I think there are a few places. I think sometimes people try and they make a couple of changes and then it doesn't go well. Like maybe they start making
mm,
healthy food and the recipe turns out terrible,
mm,
or their family doesn't like it, or it's just changing their habit. And so they say, oh, forget it. I'm just going to go back to my old way of making chicken and pasta every night. And so I think that sometimes it takes a couple of weeks to get yourself in the new routine and to get your family in the new routine of suddenly like, hey, I'm not serving you these super fatty, high sodium meals anymore. It's going to take a little adjusting. We might have to add a little more salt at the table or something while we adjust to the flavors of real healthy food. So I think that sometimes it's just a little bit of a fear and you say, oh, it's almost like a weight, like a diet or something. You kind of start, you have the best intentions and you think, oh, that's different. That's hard. I'm not going to do it. But once you do it, not necessarily with a diet, but once you do it with meal planning and you get in the routine, you say, oh my God. And I get these letters from people every week. How did I ever survive before I did this?
Yeah.
It has changed my life. It's given me back my evenings. I don't know, don't ever stop. I guess we must something I ask people all the time.
You must always keep going, Aviva.
I have 10 years worth of menus, so in case anything ever happens to me, hopefully they can just start over.
Well, we love the shrimp. I'm trying to think what it was called.
Baked panko shrimp?
No, because we're gluten intolerant. It was I should have remembered that. It was the shrimp that has the wonderful sauce that it's in.
Oh my gosh, I have so many
jasmine rice. I think.
Oh, I know it. The tropical, the Caribbean kind of sauce.
Yes.
Yeah, people love that. Sometimes people say I want to drink it with a straw.
Oh my goodness.
That sauce is good.
So delicious. And
so easy.
Yes. Yeah. So easy. So
and that's the thing is like I show people that it's just as easy to make really good food as it is to make really bad food. You just, but I do all the hard part of developing the recipes, weeding them out, testing, everything else so that my family eats all the bad stuff, and by the time it gets to you, it's only the really good stuff.
And it is good. It is very good. The other thing I like is I think sometimes people might get stuck, at least this is me, where you think, oh, it's time away from my family to make the food. But what I like is that you say in the book, and I love this tweak, think of it as time with your family and use that time to be with your family.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that especially when you know that dinner's only going to take you half an hour or less to make, you can, bring your kids in, they can do their homework there, they can help you for sure. It's a great education for your kids to learn a little bit about what goes into making a meal. And, and it can be fun. You can say, hey, do you think I should, take a taste? Do you think it needs more of this spice? Which smell these spices? Which one do you think I should add? It can sort of be something that you can really do together.
Yeah, no.
As I hear really get into it and they sort of take over at least once a week and then it really saves you time.
That's right. And what a great skill for them to learn.
Absolutely. It's such a good life skill. And I do feel like at least when I have teenagers, at least when I send them off into the world, they'll know their way around the kitchen. They'll know how to make at least some basics.
Which is really, really important.
Really important.
So can you give so many wonderful tips in the book, and there's an additional bonus tweak on the Tweak It Together website on your page. Mm-hmm. And then there's a link on the tweakittogether.com site that takes people directly to the 6 o'clock challenge. So you can get her bonus tweak and you can go right to the 6 o'clock challenge. But what small step could you tell us we could do now? What's a small get started tweak?
That one easily. So usually what I tell people is if they think, oh, I'm not that organized, I can't plan ahead, which I hear all the time, I say, okay, start by planning just 2 meals, maybe 3. When you grocery shop, buy the stuff that you need for 2 or 3 meals. Don't worry about the whole week. Mm-hmm. Just start with a couple. And just see how much less stressful those days are when you know what you're making and you have all the ingredients that you need to get it on the table. And usually that small step is enough to convince people that they need to do more. And I don't think you have to plan 7 days a week. I certainly don't. But, planning for maybe meals, I always tell people to start by looking at their calendar, what they have going on for the upcoming week. And then I usually plan one less than the nights that I think we'll be home because either something won't go as planned and I won't get to make one of them, or I like to have a night like tonight's going to be the night where I just kind of take whatever's left over and make something with it or pull everything out and we'll have like a picnic so that we don't waste all that food that I spent our hard-earned money on.
That's great. That is just perfect.
A couple. You don't have to go from 0 to 60. Just try it.
Yeah. And I hope that's a good point because I hope people seeing that I try to plan my whole week doesn't make people be like, okay, that sounds too much. Because when I say that, I mean, plan my whole week, and it might be 2 meals.
Right.
Right. So I'm glad you had me clarify that, because that could make it sound like it's a lot, and it's
The
not.
one thing that we do for people on the 6 o'clock scramble, because we realize that everybody has different schedules and different needs, is we make it very easy. I give you 5 recipes a week, but it's very easy to, first of all, swap any of them out, and they all come with the side dishes and the grocery list. But it's also easy to just say, I just want to make those 3 or those 2 or whatever it is, and just have the grocery list and the side dishes print out for those, because not everybody's going to make 5 meals in a week, or maybe they'll want to make one of their favorites or something. So I don't think it's all or nothing. And I think sometimes when we set ourselves up in this all or nothing mentality, which is the whole purpose behind Tweak It,
I agree.
you are setting yourself up for fail.
Yeah. And again, I'm seriously, legitimately a fan of the 6 o'clock scramble. And I do like the fact that you can take the list and just make it what you want to make it, which is really, really nice.
And by the way, I don't know when you're airing this, but if it's still before February 2nd, we have all these great Scramble Healthy Challenge prizes this month, including our grand prize, which is all this whole set of nonstick cookware that's like worth $360, and different healthy eating prizes every week. So if people want to get on our list before then, they'll have a chance to win.
Very, very good. Actually, I think it's going to air right before that, so people will have time. So I'm going to emphasize that.
Perfect. And also, there's a 15% discount right now. If before.
Right.
So Scramble Challenge 2013, I think, is the code, but we can stick it up there.
Perfect.
And it's on the
fact.
Okay.
Now, Aviva, tell me a little bit about your everyday work-life fit. You're a busy mom. You are an entrepreneur. And one of the things we know as entrepreneurs, you almost need to manage your everyday probably even a little more carefully than somebody who perhaps works for somebody else. I mean, being an entrepreneur is great, but you have an everyday work-life fit you have to manage. So share maybe 1 or 2 small things that mean something to you in your everyday.
Okay, I will. I was thinking about that question. And there's a couple things. I think, first of all, I would say that I have realized that one needs to really know what my priorities are personally and work priorities every day, and get those things done first before somebody else tries to claim all my time. And so it's like, I just always know what I need to get done, what I want to get done, what's important with me. If I don't exercise first thing in the morning, for example, it might not happen. So I exercise, and that time is sacred. And for me, it's just a walk in the woods with my dogs, not going to the gym or anything, but that time is my head clearing time, my friend time, and so I never schedule a meeting during that time, and it's just inviolate in that way. So it's just knowing. And to me, that's made such a difference in my life, is knowing what's really important to me and making sure to make time for it. Like, I'm always going to be off the computer and making dinner at 6 o'clock. And that's just, not that nothing ever gets in the way of that, but nothing work-wise ever gets in the way of that. So that's just, and so I therefore feel like I have exactly the life I want to lead, because no one else is pulling me into their crises or their priorities or whatever it is, because I'm setting my own priorities and making them first.
And that's what we all need to do. And your terrific advice is going to help us make healthy meals part of that boundary setting and life creation that we are hopefully all going to achieve as we tweak our work-life fit every week. Thank you, Aviva. Before we sign off, what can you tell us anything that's going on with the 6 o'clock scramble, or any fun that you did mention some of the specials?
I mentioned the Scramble Challenge, which is really fun. And we also, every Friday on our Facebook page and our blog, we have healthy giveaways. And so those are just fun. If people just, want to be eligible to win some prizes, you have a much better chance of winning these prizes than you do of the lottery, for example. So, and also it gives me a chance to tell people about some of my favorite products. In fact, maybe we want to do a Tweak It giveaway.
I would love that.
Yeah, I just thought of that. I don't know why I didn't think that sooner.
That would be great.
So it gives me a chance to tell people about some of my favorite things too. And then it's fun. People like to win prizes. So that's fun. And so other than that, just, we have so many great new features as of the last year on the Scramble. Like now we have Weight Watchers points for every recipe. We've always had
Oh.
nutritional information. Now we have pictures for every single
Oh.
recipe.
Mm-hmm.
People love to look at the food photos. We finally have them all there.
Aviva, thanks again. And everybody remember, you can find information on Aviva and the 49 other personal life and career experts who give their get started tips. Just tweak it.